Hi, I'm Ravi. I'm the founder and the CEO for Innovature Labs, which is a startup based in Cochin. I won't say it's a startup anymore, considering we've been about 15 years, but we still consider ourselves very energetic and a high energy startup to define ourselves. As a company, we grew from about 5 people from a small house that we rented. That was our definition of startup 15 years ago, to about 200 plus people in this beautiful facility that we have at Infopark. What do we do? We are a services organization, but what's the difference to our domain is we basically service Japan and Japanese customers, which is a very niche segment. Even though they're the third biggest IT market, very few companies work with Japan. So that's something that is very, very unique to us. We are a bunch of dreamers, being from Kerala, and we always had a passion to make sure we had something we wanted to do here. And that's what, even when we had options about other locations, Bangalore and all that 15 years ago, we wanted to do something in our hometown. And for us, for that matter, even our employees, who are necessarily based out of Cochin, they've also had a kind of a comeback where they've kind of gone back to their home cities and towns to kind of continue working for Japanese customers. So that's our story. Of course, a lot of things have changed. A lot more of fantastic infrastructure. We didn't have Infopark back when we started. We do have that now, and the kind of facilities and the support that the startup ecosystem that we have today didn't quite exist back then. But now these are all things that are so conveniently available to folks down here, which if I may give a little bit of advice to people who are starting out or entrepreneurs, is about capitalizing on what you have, right? So there was a lot more of struggle around when we started, where we had to worry about things that were not core to our business, like not just software development. We had to set up office. There were paperwork, hassle setting up, which is so much more easier now. That if you have an idea, there are people ready to invest in you. There is an ecosystem of supporting companies in Kerala that can kind of help you. Plus, you have a lot of great infrastructure where it's kind of plug and play. You just come in, start doing your business, and help customers globally. Not only talking about infrastructure, but making sure that you're working in a sustainable environment that is kind of true to the ethics of the organization or the industry you are in. So not only is there jobs being created, there's not only customers that are happy because you're able to provide them reliable, support and services, but you're also doing it in a very sustainable way while creating employment, while working in environment-friendly green buildings and so on. So I think Infopark and facilities like this, and even Technopark, which is one of the flagship institutes that were a part of India, Kerala's IT ecosystem, kind of have really led that way and are just taking this whole IT ecosystem to the next level. Given the employment demographics, I mean, IT and IT related services are perfect fit for the knowledge enabled population, which is a large segment of Kerala. So there's a lot of definitely a lot of opportunity to grow. What was pretty new was this appetite for startups and taking risks, which really didn't exist before, is also being addressed now, because there's that ecosystem of angel investors and facilities, and more so the risk-taking mentality that some of the Kerala-based entrepreneurs have shown, that now there is a very good opportunity to bring a lot of that capabilities back into, let's say, a Kochi, for that matter. Everybody associates Bangalore with Silicon Valley of India, but if you look at one of the recent studies, I think it was from Cognizant, it ranked Kerala among the 17th among the next 21 big cities that are ideal for sustainable working. So from a hiring perspective, this year we kind of grew at 100%. We kind of almost doubled our workforce, going in from like about 170 odd to about 250. But the interesting thing was, a lot of that hiring was actually done virtually. We have employees who have never set foot in this building, but yet are servicing our customers, which has never happened before. Everything about how we operate has changed in a good way. But again, I think the essence is about operating in a hybrid model, which is also something that we're all going to learn. And that is where to the point about the ecosystem that we have here, we have the infrastructure and the capabilities to enable that transformation, which I think is key. Even in our roadmap, as we've seen this model. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's got its advantages that we have tried to adopt and to kind of take it to the next level. We're partnering with universities, for example, to kind of have a curriculum that is kind of optimized for collaborative working, for example, and trying to make sure that this kind of a remote workforce that we have is going to be sustainable. So in all, I would say we've transformed significantly, but there's always opportunity in big events like this that helps companies like us operate more efficiently.